Hello, good evening everyone. So this is Suresh, lecturer in mechanical engineering from Government Polytechnic Chegunta. So I am going to deal with a subject called Advanced Workshop Technology for Diploma second semester. So today's topic I have chosen from Foundry. The subtopics are regarding patterns and pattern nuances and the color codes, etc. So these are the topics we have discussed in the previous classes. So regarding and the previous videos. So regarding properties of molding sand, types of molding sands, and ingredients in molding sand. Okay, and also hand molding tools used in foundry. So now in this class, so we are going to learn about the what is pattern and what are the different types of pattern materials and what are different types of patterns and pattern allowances, etc. Now look at the figure here. So this is a one type of pattern or a model which is going to be prepared, right? So actually what is a pattern? So here we know about the pattern. So pattern is a replica or a full size model of the casting. So what is casting? The products which are developed in the foundry. So all those components are called as castings. So here also by taking the replica or full size model of the pattern, so we are preparing the castings or the finished components. So this is one of the simplest model of the pattern, right? So it is used, that is pattern is used to get shape of mold cavity. So if the shape of the pattern is cylindrical in shape, so we will get the mold cavity in cylindrical shape only. So whatever the shape for the pattern is available or there, the same size will be will get as a casting. Okay, so it is used to get the shape of mold cavity. Next, castings are made in this mold. Okay. Next we can see here. So how how these patterns are making and what are the materials we are using to prepare a patterns. So first we see here. So the help of wood, there is a pattern making material, that is wood. Okay. So wood is chosen as a basic material to prepare pattern. Next is thermocol. Okay, thermocol is also one of the pattern making material. Next, plastics. So plastics are also chosen for pattern making. Next, metals. So by using some metals, so we can prepare the patterns. Okay, so simply steel, cast iron, aluminium, and brass. So these are the four examples of metals. So we are going to be making pattern by using this type of materials and other materials like plastics and wax. Okay, next. So how many types of patterns are there? Now you can see. So first one is the solid pattern. Second, split pattern. Third, loose piece pattern. Fourth, gated pattern. Fifth, match plate pattern. Sixth, follow board pattern. Seventh, sweep pattern. Next, eighth, odd shaped pattern. Ninth, cope and drag pattern. 10th, skeleton pattern. 11th, segmental pattern. And 12th, shell pattern. Okay, so we have 12 types of patterns. So by using all these types of patterns, so we can prepare a mold cavity or castings. Right. So we discuss all these types of patterns now. So one by one going to be discussed. So first one will be solid pattern. Okay, this is the diagram of a solid pattern. Look at the figure here. Yeah. So this will be the pattern. This is in a solid model. Okay. Right. So solid pattern is a single piece pattern. So it doesn't have any more than one piece. So it is a single piece pattern. So this single piece pattern is used for casting large and simple shapes. Okay, it is used for large castings of simple shapes. So then only we are preferring for the solid pattern. Okay. So second one is split pattern. Name indicates split. So here we have more than one piece of pattern. Okay, if you look at the figure here, so we can observe the figure here. So it shows so more than one piece. Okay, so the pattern will be splitted. Okay, more than one piece are available here. Okay, so name indicates split. So here we are splitting the pattern into number of pieces. Okay, right. So this split pattern is used for intricate castings. Okay, so it is used for complex shaped castings or intricate castings or difficulty castings. So it is made of two or three parts. So it is having either two or three parts. So more than one. If it is only one, then it will be a solid pattern. So if it is more than one, that is two or three parts, so then it will called as a split pattern. So next one is match plate pattern. So look at the figure here. If you observe the figure, so here we can see some of the plates here. So match plates. Okay. So here there will be a drag and cope here, cope and drag, and also there are some number of plates here. Yeah. So this match plate pattern is used for small castings in large numbers. Okay. So this match plate pattern is used for small castings in large numbers. That is the meaning of this one is. So if you want to prepare small castings or small components in bulk, okay. So then it is used, that is the match plate is chosen. Okay, it consists of two halves. So if you observe the figure, so here we can see the two halves joined together. Next one is a gated pattern. So if you go on observing the figure, then you will get how many patterns are there, and what is a runner, and how gates are attached. We can see here, okay, in this figure. So this is the gated pattern. So in this pattern, so gate is provided. So in this pattern, gate is provided on patterns. Okay, so in this figure we have six patterns. Okay, and six gates. Okay, next it is used for small castings only. It is also used for small castings. Okay, as previous one. Next one is sweep pattern. Okay, so this is a diagram of a sweep pattern. So in this figure, so we can see the sand, sweep, and mold. Okay, so there is a pin here. Okay, so for this pin, the sweep will be fixed. Okay, right, we can see here. So sweep pattern is made of wooden or metal plate. So this sweep pattern is made of either wooden or metal plate. Okay, so this plate revolves. The sweep maybe revolves around a fixed axis. So around a fixed point. So the sweep or plate will revolve around a fixed axis, so that the sand will removes. Next one is skeleton pattern. So if you look at the figure here, so it will be known. So we can see here. So skeleton pattern is used for making large castings. Okay. So it is used for making large castings, and so it is a simple wooden frame. Okay. So it is made of wooden frame. Okay. Next, the wooden frame is filled by loam sand. So within the wooden frame, it is filled with a loam sand and then rammed. Okay. Next, loose piece pattern. So if you observe the figure here, so you can see here. So loose piece. Okay. So this will be the totally a pattern, and this will be a loose piece part. Okay. So we will get here. So and this will be the sand, loose piece. Okay. A pin, that is anchor pin. Next, lifter, mold, pattern. Okay, so this is a loose piece pattern. So loose piece pattern is a projection on a main pattern. Okay, so loose piece is nothing but the projection on a main pattern. Okay, so this loose piece is fixed on main pattern by anchor pins. By using anchor pins, the loose piece is fixed to the uh, main pattern. Okay, next one will be a segmental pattern. If you observe the figure here, then you will know. Okay, yeah. So in this figure, you can see the segmental pattern. Okay, so it is a in the form of segment of a circle. Okay, so this is used for casting wheel rims, gears, flywheels, etc. Okay, so next one is a follow board pattern. Look at the figure here. So here there will be a tin pattern, mold board, and follow board. Okay, so pattern is supported on follow board. So this is a follow board. So this pattern is supported on follow board. Next, so this follow board pattern is used for making the thin walled castings. So especially It is used for making the thin walled castings. Okay, next. So next one is shell pattern. Okay, so this is a diagram of a shell pattern. Look at the figure here. So this is a shell pattern diagram. Okay, so this shell pattern is a hollow in construction. Okay, so the outside shape is used as pattern, the outer surface. So if you observe this figure, the outside face, the outside face is used as a pattern. Okay, next. So next one will be pattern allowances. Next topic is pattern allowances. Okay, so actually what is the pattern allowance, and so how many types of pattern allowances are there? So we'll go on discussing about all the pattern allowances now. Okay, right. So a pattern differs from the casting in certain dimensions. Okay, so we can see here a pattern differs from the casting in certain dimensions. Okay, so pattern allowance means increasing or decreasing the size of the pattern. Okay, so pattern allowance is nothing but the increasing or decreasing the size of the pattern. Okay, so required because molten metal shrinks and other reasons. So why it may the pattern allowance may increase or decrease, the pattern size will may increase or decrease. So due to the molten metal shrinkages and other reasons. Okay, next we can see the types of pattern allowances. Okay, first one is the shrinkage allowance, second machining or finishing allowance, third taper or draft allowance, fourth distortion allowance, and the fifth one is shake or wrapping allowance. Okay, next. So now we are going to discuss about all the allowances one by one. So first one is shrinkage allowance. The pattern is made oversize. Okay, so in shrinkage allowance, the pattern is made over size of the cavity. Okay, the pattern must be made oversized to compensate for contraction of liquid metal on cooling. On cooling, the the uh, the metal may shrinks or compensate or contraction of liquid. Okay, molten metal liquid. Okay, next. This addition to the dimensions of pattern is known as shrinkage allowance. So this addition of the dimension of the pattern is known as shrinkage allowance. So all dimensions in x, y, z directions should be increased. So we should not increase one side and the other side should not be decreased. So all the three sides should be increased. Next one is machining allowance. So dimensions of pattern should be increased slightly to take care machining after casting. Okay, so when the machining allowance is required, so dimensions of pattern should be increased slightly to take care machining after casting. Okay, so it is a positive allowance. Okay, next. So casting is machined to get good surface finish. Okay, after casting only all these should be performed. So casting is machined to get good surface finish. So next one will be draft allowance. Okay, so this draft allowance you can see here. So to overcome the tendency of tear of mold edges during removal of pattern. Okay, so to overcome the tendency of tear of mold edges during the removal of pattern. Then the allowance is required. So it is also called as taper allowance. So taper is provided on pattern wall. Okay. Next, this allowance avoids breakage of mold surface. Okay, that's why it is called as a draft allowance. Next one is distortion allowance. So this distortion allowance is look at here. So this is applied for irregular castings. Okay. So irregular casting is nothing but there is no exact shape for the castings. Okay. So this distortion allowance is applied for irregular castings. So takes care of distortion when the casting is cooled. So when the cooling is going to be performed, so it take care of the distortion of the irregular castings. Next, it is a positive allowance. Okay, and the last one is shake or wrapping allowance. Okay, now you look at the here. Look at here. So pattern size is slightly reduced. Okay, when the pattern is to be removed. So when we are going to be removing the pattern, so what should be happening? The pattern size is slightly reduced. Okay. Next. So pattern is shaked while removing from sand. Okay. So whenever you are going to be removed from the sand, okay, of the pattern, so just before removing, just we have to shake the pattern. Okay. While going to be removed from the sand. Okay. So due to this size of mold increases slightly, so it is a negative allowance. Okay. Next. So now we are going to discuss about the construction of patterns and the color codes of patterns, cores and types of core, properties and advantages of cores. Okay, you can see here. So construction of a pattern. So what are the factors to be considered while making a pattern? So we can see here. So type of metal to be cast. So what based on the type of metal to be cast. Okay. Next, second one is number of castings required. Okay. Next, method of molding. So what type of method we are following? Okay, method of molding. The type of allowances, that is pattern allowances. Okay, so first we can see here. So it consists of a pattern layout. Okay, so this is a construction of pattern. So preparation of pattern. So pattern layout, construction of pattern. Okay, so now we can see pattern layout. Steps to be followed for new pattern layout are study the blueprint. Okay, before going to prepare a new pattern layout, so we have to follow these steps. Okay, that is study the blueprint, select reference surfaces, select pattern allowances, do marking, select suitable color codes, and preserve. Okay, next shaping the patterns. You can see here. Study the pattern layout, construction main part, cut out parts of pattern, provide draft on cutout patterns, check with layout for correct dimensions. Next, assemble all the parts together with glue or dowel pins by using either glue or dowel pins. So assemble all the parts together. Okay. Next, smooth any rough surface with sandpaper by using sandpaper. If you find any rough surface, so make them into a smooth surface. Next, coat the pattern with shellac. So by using shellac material, so we can make a coating on the pattern. Next, so place the wax fillets on all corners. Next, make repairs if required. So we can make repairs if required. So coat the surface with specific colors. With specific colors, so we can make coatings on the surface. Okay, let's look at it here. So some of the color codes for patterns. So color codes for the patterns. So color coding is used in order to identify the different parts and surface finish. So if you are, okay, so to identify the different parts and surface finish, so color codes are required. Next, to identify color prints, core prints, seeds and loose pieces. To identify the core prints, seeds and loose pieces, so we require color coding. Next, so identify the surface to be measured. Okay. Next, identify type of metal to be casted. Okay. Next, so color coding system. You can see here surface and color. The first one is surface to be unmeasured. So what type of color it should be mentioned? Black. If if it is in black, that indicates there is no need of measuring. Next, surface to be measured. That is red. Next, seeds of four prints, yellow color. Next, parting surface on a split pattern. Okay, there is no color for the parting surface on a split pattern. Okay. Next, fifth is seeds and loose pieces. So red strips on yellow background. Okay, on yellow background, so there are some red strips. Next, sixth one is stop offs, that is supports. So black strips on yellow background. On yellow background, so there are some black strips. So next topic is a core. So you can see what is a core. So core is used for forming holes and cavities in casting. Okay, it is used for forming holes and cavities in casting. Okay, so it is made from special molding sand. Okay, so this core is made from a special molding sand. So baked in oven. Okay, next. So what are the advantages of cores? So to provide internal holes and cavities, next intricate castings can be produced. Core may be used as part of mold. Next, improves strength of mold surface. Okay, so all these are the advantages of cores and used as part of gating system. Okay, next, desired properties of core. So what are the desired properties of cores? We can see here. So sufficient strength to withstand force of molten metal. So molten metal temperature should be very high, so it can withstand the forces. Okay, next. So high permeability. So has good collapsibility, has high refractoriness. So all these are the desired properties of force. So first one is sufficient strength to withstand force of molten metal. Second is high permeability. Third has good collapsibility. And the fourth is high refractoriness. Okay. Next we can see the what are types of cores here. Okay, we can see the types of cores. So first one is according to the material used. Okay, so based on the material used or according to the material used. So so they are class, they are of different types. First one is green sand coals. Green sand coals. So these are prepared by green sand. Okay, so what are the coals you are preparing with green sand? So those coals are called as green sand coals. So second is dry sand coals. Okay, so these dry sand coals are prepared by synthetic sand. Okay, synthetic sand baked in oven. Next, according to the position of coal. So first one is according to the type of material used, and next one is the according to the position of core. Okay, so horizontal core, vertical core, balanced core, cover core, hanged core, winged core, ram up core, and his core. Okay, so all these are the different positioning of cores. Okay, so first one is horizontal core. You can see here. So this is the diagram of a horizontal core. So we can see the observe the figure here where the core will be held. Okay, right. So horizontal core. So this core is of cylindrical form. So this is in the form of a cylindrical. Okay. Next. So this is used to produce circular holes. So if we require circular holes, so with the help of this horizontal core, so we can produce cylindrical or circular holes. Next, placed horizontally in mold. Okay, so these cores should be placed horizontally in a mold. The second one is a vertical core. You can see here. So this will be a vertical core. So this is placed vertically in the mold. Okay, it is used to produce vertical hole in the mold. Next one. Paper is provided on the core. You can see here. So this will be the a taper here for two sides and the two edges. There is a taper. So this taper is provided on the core. So next is balanced core. So you can see the diagram of a balanced core. So chaplet, mold, and balanced core. All these are the parts of balanced core. So half of core is kept. Okay, you can see here. So half of core is kept in the mold, and a half of the core is sand. Okay, so this will be a sand. The half of the core will kept in sand, and the remaining half will be kept in mold. Next, so it is used to produce blind holes in molds. Okay, so to produce blind holes in molds, so this can be used. Next is cover cores. Cover core. You can see here. So this is a diagram of a cover core. A mold, core, and parting line. Okay, cover core. So it is mounted on track. Okay, so supported by fillets. Next, hanging core. So you can see the diagram of a hanging core here. Okay, this core hangs from the fork. From the fork, this core can hang. So it is supported by fillets in drag. Next is wing core. Okay, so you can see the diagram of a wing core. So you can see the parts of wing core, mold, chain core, parting line, parting line, and mold. So this core is used when hole is required. So wing core is used when a hole is required above or below parting line. either above the parting line or below the parting line. So when a required hole, so this can be used. Next, so it is also called stop of core. Stop of core. Next is ram up core. You can see this. So this is called a ram up core. So this ram up core is set in the mold along with pattern. So this will be the pattern and this will be the core. So along with the pattern, this core should be set in the mold. Next, so this ram up core is used to make holes in inaccessible position. Okay. So next will be the molding procedure. So how we are what is the procedure to prepare or make a molding? Okay, we can see here. So the molding box consists of cope and drag. Okay, so the molding box consists of cope and drag. The pattern is kept inside the molding box on molding board. So first of all, you have to place the molding board, then keep the pattern on the molding board, then place the molding box over the pattern so that the pattern should be in the center of the molding box. Next, the parting sand is dusted on pattern surface. Okay, just parting sand is used as a dust on pattern surface. Next, facing sand is poured up to a depth of 25 mm. So there will be a sand called facing sand. The facing sand is poured up to a depth of 25 mm. Okay. Next, and also we have to use the baking sand. Okay. So baking sand is filled. Then ramming is done by the rammer. So by using a hand molding tool, that is a rammer, you have to make a ramming. Okay. Next, excess sand is cut off with strike off bar. By using a strike off bar, so we have to cut off the excess sand. Okay, on the next. So we can see the diagram here. So how we are the molding procedure should be done. So observe the figure here. So all these are the different parts. That is, so in figure A, so we have to place the pattern on the molding board. Then keep the molding box on the pattern. So in figure B, you can see that will be the position of the pattern, board, and molding box. Okay, and it is filled with sand. In figure C, so that will be that is in reverse direction. Okay, so then it is called a drag. Okay, in figure D, you can see. So it is placed with the scope. Okay, so scope consists of a screw pins and razor pins. Okay, so with the help of these screw pins and razor pins, so we can check the how the metal will flows and entered into the pattern cavity or mold cavity. Next, in last figure, that is E. So, there are gates in this figure. Okay, for both the sides. That is for razor pin side and screw pin side. So to flow the molten metal into the mold cavity. Okay, in this figure we can show all the molding procedure. So next you can see here. So drag is turned over. Hope is placed on drag. So parting sand is sprinkled over pattern surface. Next, screw pins and rubber pins are placed in position. So molding sand is filled in the cope. Okay, in the cope. So molding sand is filled. Next, so sand is rammed by the rammer. So then excess sand is removed by the strike off bar. Next, screw pins and razor pin are withdrawn. Withdrawn. Next, cope is lifted off and set aside. So cope is lifted off and set aside. So battery is withdrawn from drag. So with the help of a wind wires or some other bits. Next, finally, cope and drag clamped together. So metal is melted separately in electric arc furnace. Okay. So then molten metal is poured into the mold. Okay. So when the molten metal is cools down, the mold is broken. So casting is separated. So this is the way of molding procedure. Okay. So next is classification of molding processes. Okay, we can see here. So according to the method used, so it is classified as bench molding, floor molding. Okay. Next, stick molding, metal molding. Okay. Next one is green sand molding, dry sand molding, loam sand molding, cemented bonded molding, ceramic molding, shell molding. Okay, so we discuss in the next class. So we'll continue now only. Okay, we have any very less slides now. Okay, so all these are the different types of classification of molding processes. Okay, so first one is green sand molding. In this molding, moist sand with clay is used. Okay, this moist sand is used with clay. Okay, it is used for small and medium casting. Green sand is used for small and medium casting. So drying the mold is not necessary. Okay, so in this there is no need of drying the mold. Okay, so malted is poured immediately. Next, green refers to moisture, not the color of sand. So this green refers to the moisture content in the sand, but not the color of the sand. Okay. Next, we can see the advantages. The least expensive, consumes less time, glass can be reused, less distortion problems. All these are the advantages, and also less damage of hot air. Okay, disadvantages. Sand control is critical. Moisture in sand may cause defects. Surface finish is poor. So mold lacks strength and applications. So you can see here. These are the applications of sands. Okay. So ferrous and non-ferrous alloys can be casted. Okay. Next, it is used for small and medium castings. Okay. So now I'm closing.